Yeah.
Is depth of thought. How much can you fathom? How do you present your ideas from a thought angle? And instrument thing, it chance.
Yeah.
How do you use images to express your thoughts? And number two, really important, poetry is what demands.
Okay.
Now, you need to have word consciousness, and word consciousness you can mantswe. And what level is it? As the anagram, or in the word dream, there is mad. You see, and with word consciousness, you can see if you just said my dreams were mad, then we are one of dreamy mad. But even kamahara mad as dream, you have armed. See? So if you say my armed dreams got mad, or using just the same pattern with still kamahara dreamy, get it?
Yeah.
And like in one line where I say, words, I love the swords. Because then words, what's a fella else which I can kill a sword. So it shows you are aware where kamara lintila earth honale heart. And kamara heart honale hate. And these are some of the things that are very much important in the concept ya hobona or no mantua are linked together, especially how you weave them in terms of your another's depth of your thoughts. And a very good example is that you can see your Nessa said earlier about aware the anagram. And also another thing, the poems that thing, I only the palindrome or the boy wa foster. And also this word consciousness, again, a kind of only good poems, this thing prescribed by your experiences. And you get all these funny, stupid things here. I write how I feel, but man took the packs. The idea. And once was not the peg sitting. You're wasting your time. You get it? And it becomes very important to tlhokomela, aware, and the more you read, and if you take even the word read, kamahara there, and then kamahara there only dear, there read dear. It's very important because the who it is, and elevates your capacity to express these concepts if you are a poet. But then I had a very funny argument at that Reliable State Theatre, and he had a big problem. Yeah, but your students are using too many big words and things like that. So I'm trying to say, Chandra, there's no such a thing as a big word. Any word also using is a big word. It doesn't have to be long. Can be the smallest fucking word. It's even bigger than any other word. So I remember my uncle told me such a beautiful word. Well, I was saying, a synonym is a word related in meaning. No, that's the dictionary meaning. But a synonym is a word you use when you can't spell the other one. But there are a lot of words that are synonymous, but there is not a single word that is similar. You see, they relate in meaning, and the more only vocabulary is sharp, the more you are in a position to express exactly what you want to say. Not what is related to what you want to say. You see? And I remember the fun we used to have when we were young. Or there was this book, Student's Companion. Fantastic. I just but nearly on a Bible really must have 6 issue. And there was a section, Kamu Morao or Mohari, it was called Big Words for Small Words. You see? And then what we used to do was narrate these big words and then really well and then the fantastic thing about it was we used to translate the proverb. So suddenly birds of a feather flock together. Now the study of birds is called ornithology. And the study of feathers is called plumnology. So birds of a feather, we used to put it like ornithological specimens of identical plumage maneuver in proximity. Yeah. And things like all glitters is not gold. Now, of false beauty, the word is meretricity. Like, meretricious attractiveness is not a true criteria of an object's intrinsic value. You get it?
Yeah.
And all these things, it was really like having fun, but this is how we managed to build a hell of a good vocabulary. Nature sings out of tune. Eternity, the score sheet on which the notes of nature are placed. The cosmos is the essence universal. Sound harmony, the placidness of easiness, a painting of morbid dazzle sensitivity, pied beauty at the nerve end of light's delight. The ether, a stage for a theater of the universe, where the notes of easiness are a song, a dance, a vibrant kinetic movement of intergalactic theatrics of itsness. The spirit of joyfulness at the pitch and zenith, excellence, immemorial splendor, infinite lotus naturae, bedeck the ether capacious with song pomp, bordering the perfection of nothingness. The embryo of creation, in which that which is and is not becomes and becometh. The music of the universe becomes partially cacophonic with the belated introduction of a poltergeist notochord on the score sheet of the eternal, darkness visible in the echo of light, and the spectre of the universe is manifested on earth in the ether as man, nature's micro wound, oboe unsustained, a stained cosmic oompa, to bring down solar-bound songs, and earth is now out of tune as a soloist in the solar ensemble, a vocally wounded member of the Milky Way orchestra. The Sizagi fades the ebb. Earth-bound notes are flotsam, jetsam, cost wastes, floating on the wings of a bleeding moon. And once more the amphisbiana bit its tail to spite its face, and it now heads along in oblivion, headless. The third thing, poetry. And I was talking to Kafel about this thing, that most of the youth would say, they didn't want. Writing someone the slogan, but have a guy to the within the context, yeah, the Kalidiem. And once o level good poetry, especially to another journalist page, or actually it's weaving Dika Lidiem. And I give you a good example, Kayona, this poem in Africa. For each statement, Kiseka, and Tedin Segidiem, Africa, ho aladi bodiki ho hokamanu. Why one you can use it straight or no horumente ba aladi bodiki sono se ba hokamanu.
Yeah.
Aba faladi.
Yeah.
Tseba ya bore ya tseba ba ro. You get it? Kiseka se sharp, and se ma se se ba pe ba masuka ba pya ka moro wa diphiri. Why?
Yeah.
Le mo gore ba o ba go letseng motseng wa dipudi di maleme matala ba hlola boditsi.
Yeah. So okay, let me get what are well to your first line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ke poetry, this poem it's ke Africa title.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we ngwala? Which no ngwala mang in not in specific terms, but were you addressing a situation or you were
No, I'm addressing. It's more a conversation with the self, because didn't be le mohile khale or ongwalla bomang, and then I remember one time the go Ntate, I think, Ronald Steve, and there was always this thing, you must write for the masses,
Okay.
And then boom. So there were some classes reading poetry, the grassroots people, swinging. So he says, Steve, what do you think of this?
Yeah, that's Bantu Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, Steve, you are always telling us to write for the people. And here today we have experienced that the people are not writing for the white people, but they are writing for themselves, and they are even above our own comprehension. So how do you write for people who are ahead of you? Or
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
And that you can see it even in terms of painting, where ho lebella dintlu tsa Matebele, quote unquote. I mean, it's modern art, inspiring bo Theo van Doesberry, bo Piet Mondrian, all this group more distinct. You see?
Yeah,
and
it's always been there.
It's always been there. And then you wonder if these people are so advanced, and then we're now busy or driver now, but they did boxing, so you get it.
Yeah.
You are quite
okay.
But now, as I said, most of these things are my own meditative understanding and analysis of how I see things. And if there are people who will dig this shit, welcome, you know? And if they are not there, time will ripen them up to understand.
Yeah. So, Artewele Africa.
Yeah. But no, I was just quoting fella.
Okay.
Hore, yeah, this poem ya Africa, hore, it's weaving yadi kalidie, but if I read it straight, hoala di bodu ke ho ka mano. Tsebo ya bore ya tsebo ba rona ba pe ba maswika ba pe ka mogo wa diphiri. Ya le mo hore bao ba goletseng motseng wa dipudi di maleme matala ba hlola bodidi ge ba la meroko ya bohlola lapeng la kgoshi ya ngwana ngaka go fepa manong a tswang thabeng tsa sefefo ka ngwana ngaka ya kgosi ke go apesa ngwedi motjeka ke go apola maru go fisa ke letsatsi tadi ya musa go fetsa ke diboko pele manong a fitla bjale ngwana ditalama se boloke marapo a mempeng ya diphiri bao ba jewago ke diboko ba pokela ditlhapi ngwana ke anya matlhale ya borra kgolokgolompeng ya setšhaba o tle o kgone go atlega gobane bao ba ikgaolang mpeng ya setšhaba sa bona ba itšhila dipopelo ba fetse ba timeletse ke setso sa bona re kwa mekgoši ya bona ka meriti le bahlabetse a ba lorele mahlale a ja mong ka meno a matelele Afrika ka mantswe ke ipapola sefapanong sa lerato la gago gomme ke nyaka o itse gore nako ke ya badimo fela le he le gore re bana ba badimo ke nnete fela nnete ke gore ga re bana ba badimo ba dimakatso re ka tswa bana ba phefo ka mokibelo wa phoka ra fetsa re ntšhana sainong ka manala a kgwale go dia bjalo ke go bofa maroko ka paparation le panta la motšhene wa makgomo bjala bo ka go timela mabone a maitso se ipone sa gago sa fifala bosula. You get it?
Yeah. What does that mean?
No, bjala bo ka go timela mabone.
Yeah.
You get it? A maitsego. You get it? Se ipone sa gago sa fifala bosula.
That's profound.
Yes. O bona go se humane se se go thabisang ke go humanega go itira o ka re ga o itse go gaisa go itira o ka re o a itse go se itire o ka re go se itire o ka re go gaisa go ammaruri seema sa bao ba sa yone se apara se ikgakanya sa se aparang maja thoro a maja popompe maja a sa itlhakole a go nyela didiba tsa kulumela tsa phatlha tsa rona batlotledi ba tlaisiwang ke lona dihwirihwiri tsa se ikgakanyo sa se aparang makgomathe ke gore makgonyane wa lona o tlo felelwa ke matete ya le lemoga gore re a itse gore botswerere bo ba lona ke se ikgakanya sa diphiri le matlhalero, se apara tlalo la nku, konyana ya Rramasedi le Mmamasedi. Tlogellang ke ho timelwa ke pharologanyo mahareng a botho le bomatla. Le ka se ka be la re fetola diphepheng. Motlhaba wa rona o namile le gona re a itse gore go felelwa ke botho ke go fetoga sehwirihwiri sa seikgakanyo sa seaparang sa maja a sa itlhakong. Re sediba se phepa re tlogeleng ka kgotso. But the poem that was ailing Isle Mutlhabane ka utlwa rena iso wa tsamaya ke leakgatisong le tswang leitlho la leobu la seaparang. Wa bona leakgatisong means a book. Le tswang leitlho la leobu la seaparang, which comes from the eye of a royal chameleon. Now, ntho le tlhoka ka leobu le nna le matlho a independent gore letlho le ka lebelela ko pele, letlho le leng le lebelela ko morago, so e kgona go bona ko pele le ko morago simultaneously. Which reminds me of when Mandla brought his book Empire, The True Colors of a Chameleon. So Mandla, I mean, they're such a fantastic poem. Now we are writing a book, True Colors of a Chameleon. Chameleon doesn't have any colors. Yeah, Sir, sa go topiwa ga se kgwele ka mathe pele se fitlha gae. He re ka loya modimo re a tlabe re ikalafile botlaela ba go inyatsa. This one is even better. Bošoro ba modimo bo bonwa mabaleng a diabolos. Go kubiwa ga Sathane le godimong ebile bofelo ba ditoro tsa mangoloi.
So here ka loya modimo.
Yeah.
Re tlhatlholelanya.
He re ka loya modimo re tla be re ikalafile botlaela ba rona. In simple words, he re ka tlogela go dumela, ra thoma go nyakisisa, then re tla be re simolola go tlhalefa.
Okay.
Yeah. O di kere ma-Africa ke mangolo ya a senang diphuka, ba palelwa ke go phukalla. Dinonwane tsa magodimo di tletse bodutu ba mangolo a dimomo. Beautiful. Bontle ba diboko di ja tse kgoleng ke botshelo bo kwešiša ke bao ba ralokang ka kgolokwane ya nako. The youth of today are very much ignorant about the role of the youth within a society. And that's why I said that problem ya bona ke tse four. A ba itshwenye, a ba tshwenyege, a ba na taba, and a ba nyaka go tshwenyiwa. And batho ba ba itshwenyang ba inspire, to use the word wrongly, ke ba thoma go utlwisisa gore what is their role in the changing of the society. Give a very good example. Gore any country in a revolutionary situation, automatically the mental intake of the youth goes very high. Give you a very good example, happy to kind of corroborate what I'm saying. George Jackson, when he wrote the book Blood in My Eye. He was 16 years old, you know? And yeah, George Jackson, I want that book, Blood in My Eye. He was just 16 years old. And when Elrich Cleaver wrote Soul on Ice, which is a gas of a book, he was just 18. And not only that, when Angela Davis, Agra Law degree high, she was just 19 years, you know? Exactly like when Lenin got his law degree, he was also 19 because of the setting of the Russian Revolution. You get it?
Okay.
And you can even take a lot of musicians, you know, like Bob Miles. He was playing with Charlie Parker when he was 18 years. And Lebanon, the genius, out of being part of change. You get it?
So you meaning that the drive must come while you're still young?
No, it's not when you're still young. The thing is, if you are fortunate enough to be born into a revolutionary times, that setting forces you to really be part of the change. And you all know this thing, Sekou Touré, you know.
I can use a quotation here, Schopenhauer, when he says, "For the youth today, life is nothing but an endless pain with a painful end."
But when we got our so-called independence, or an independence for real, you get it, was that the liberation movements were not in a position to re-engage the youth as to what their role is, in terms of really taking the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
And that's why all these youth have a vision, and their vision ends at the river shore because it's ephemeral. It's not the golden age. Banyaka di koloi, banyaka di motokara, banyaka nice timing, and everybody is busy with this illusion, which reminds me of Nagurle Baba Nyane. Nonali pinongune reopelere nice time, yabulala. But all these songs are not in the opera contextual.
Actually, I don't believe in this kind of like inspiration. I think my point of departure is more perspiration. Are you ready to perspire to achieve your dreams? But unfortunately, as I say, but I and the dream is about once you are on TV, then you have made it. Because arena this thing Huma Segala once called lasting impressions.
Yeah.
But the purpose
okay.
And the answer is very simple. If whatever you do doesn't contribute to the development of your people, it's not worth shit. I don't care how many cars you have or things like that. And this is the thing that the Europeans call a legacy. Legacy means what the nation inherits as your contributions. And that's very important. But my grandfather told me a very good thing. We put this one question. And hope Allah go araba question it's almost so sensitive. And that's the thing that Holy Bella, the contribution of the Western civilization is how they impacted the society negatively. Okay? And not only that, because we have to look at the society or it's a social and social, the humans,
Yeah.
and whatever you do, if it's not for the protection of the earth, Leona is Bogoro.
Yeah.
That's why in one of my old poems I talked about we must be patriotic and matriotic about the planet. Not just patriots and matriots of your country. And Western civilization lacks the patriotism and matriotism of the earth. If the youth understood their thirst, then they would know, hey, and sweetness, you know. But that's how you quench your thirst. Over?
Okay.
Or you quench the fire of your destruction.
How great is this madness? It even sounds poetic, it even sounds poetic, it even sounds poetic as it even sounds poetic. Words like smiles run for miles. Oh, how I wish. Wishes could feel how we feel when we wish a poetic wish. Oceanic words flowing poetically onto paper. Oceanic power, poetry overriding the world, poetic colonization, connective correlations of pulses until man is connected in pulse. Realizations becoming coordination, oneness. A way down reality's drain for today, the 20th century, a few years before 1984, as though 1984 meant anything another big toilet, where human life degrades into human dung, all facets of life composing and decomposing on high heaps of sanitations, flies buzzing in A minor, B flat, C sharp, G major, displaying their musical skill, tolling our death, a hymn sung by nature's choir, the last post to the lost poets, requiem for Mother Africa at her death bed, the excretion center. We have become the spiritual dumping ground of the West. And Rona, just like maggots, you know, we take it over and fuck ourselves up. And that's the thing, as I was saying, it's unfortunate for you know this thing about poetry is just a hype. It's a feeling very ephemeral. And that's the biggest anathema every face angaji for arena a genuine hope and vision to be aesthetically conscious, you know. And that in itself, actually, I was arguing with some people about, I think you know this proverb, William Blakey, hearing beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, which is bullshit of the highest fucking order, because beauty beholds the elevated senses. I mean, the music was Coltrane, Bach, Manchomani, doesn't become nonsense because your ears are uneducated. I mean, a great painting doesn't become lousy because when your eye is not trained, you know. And just because blue cheese illiterate but once you educate yourself
Yeah.
and uplift all your senses, then you will begin to realize how much beauty there is, you know. And that's why Rona as artists, we are just transitory vehicles that will elevate about to a level where they can perceive nature at its fullest. And once people can reach that level, we don't have a job anymore, if it's a job or a purpose, to use the right word. I mean, if you can listen to the ocean and get those melodies, why should we be listening to some piano here? I mean, and if you can check out, you know, all these different growings, I mean, when they really talk about art in motion, that's nature at its best. So we will have really served our purpose. Le bolobolo le tona le leng phala le bona mapateteng le role ke motšhitšhi wa manyamonyama a sefane tše ikhubedi di fetotseng moji le molewa selatsa sa matsapa a sa ponyego leihlo di maoto a sa ikimelego le mpa e pšhile se metswedi ya metsi a bollo melomo mesehla e lefulo letswai le omile ke re ba re bua ka thipa tse motho ba re roke ka mamao a ntlha tsa dikutu di ntšhang mabadi digae di kukumogileng ebileng di šišimišang le menwana ya difofu go ka ba monate re ka ba le seso se e leng sa rona se sa bepiwang ke konopi ya makgwa a moloi konopi ya makgwa a mampiti so se bagologolo ba maleme a kgetho ba se reileng leina la leratorato le gaisang la bakurunteteteng.
No, no.